Hello, and welcome back to my health journey series. I'm Mad, this is Quirky Seeker, and this is the second video in my series. If you haven't seen the first video yet, I highly recommend it. I'll go ahead and leave a link up here and in the description box down below so you can catch up. Otherwise, let's get into it. I did my best to set the scene in the last video for how my parents fed me and how I ate growing up. In this video, I want to focus in on how I felt, specifically as a teenager. It was during my high school years that my health started to decline more and more. I'm not sure if some of this was just accompanying hormonal changes and growing up and stuff, but I do know that some of it came along with the fact that my junior year of high school, I had a really bad case of mono. When I first started feeling ill, we all thought that I just had a cold or the flu or something that was going to be gone pretty soon and I could go back to school. But I continued to feel really sick. I was sleeping all the time. I was tired. I was in a lot of pain. I was really uncomfortable, but it just felt like a really bad regular old cold or something, just extra bad, and just why won't it go away? My mom took me to the doctor. They said that it seemed like I was going to be okay and she should take me back home and fluids and rest and all the normal things. But after a while, when I wasn't getting better, she took me back to the doctor and said, "Hello, this child is obviously sick. Isn't there something more you can do?" At which point, I'm pretty sure they ran a strep test. When the test came back saying I did not have a strep throat, they sent me home and told my mom to give me fluids and rest and I would be okay. When I continued to not get better, my mom took me to the ER, where they pumped me full of fluids and brought my mom the news that I had mono. My mom took really awesome care of me. She made me this chicken noodle mushroom soup crock pot thing that I thought was just the most amazing thing I'd ever tasted in my entire life. And, whenever I showered, I felt like the hot water was piercing the bones and I could feel it through my entire body. It was an awful experience. But I did get over the disease. I did get better. I did go back to high school, and we thought that it was over. The reason why I thought this was relevant to bring up is because even though I had mono when I was in high school and I recovered from it and have moved on with a regular life, every time that I get ill, an illness which other people around me have, which lasts about one day, will usually take me about a week to get over. An illness that might cause somebody else to be out of commission for 5 days, I'll suffer for weeks on end. I struggle a lot more to get through illnesses, and illnesses seem to come at me more severely than they do those around me. When I started dating Nate, I was 18 years old, I was halfway through my freshman year of college, and I was chronically ill. I was regularly experiencing dizziness, nausea, headaches, fatigue. I was restless and irritable. I had tons of stomach issues. I don't really want to talk about it, actually. It was pretty bad, and the worst part about it is I thought it was normal. There were times where my chest hurt. There were times where my ears hurt. There were times where I kind of had a loss of breath. I was endlessly forgetful. I was always tired and weak, and I had a whole host of other tiny symptoms that would just come and go and ruin my life. But the big thing that was really getting to me was what I can only describe as depression.
Depression.
Nate and I dated for 10 months before he popped the question, and I of course said yes. So a year later we got married. But during that year that we were engaged, Nate took the trust that he had built with me and he used it to speak into my life. gently, he tried to let me know, like, you're really unhealthy and you need to ask for help. And because he had built that trust with me, I listened to him and we made an appointment to go to the doctor. Now, this was a big deal for me because I didn't want to go to the doctor. I didn't want them to put me on any prescription medications, especially not a medication that I was going to have to be on for the rest of my life. Before I started dating Nate, I trusted someone with a little bit of my struggle that I was having with depression. I was looking to them for help. I was looking to them for hope. But their response to me was, you have depression. That's a real disease. You're never going to get over it. You're going to have to deal with this for the rest of your life. All hope got sucked from the room. So I was hesitant. I was nervous when I walked into the doctor's office next to Nate, holding my little paper of symptoms that I never actually showed to the doctor. I only told them verbally some of the symptoms that were on my list. I thought for sure they were going to tell me that I had like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, definitely probably some rare form of cancer or another disease that was super rare that nobody had ever heard of. I thought that my issues were completely unique and that I was alone in feeling them. Turns out, I'm a pretty uninteresting case. The doctor had very little to say to me. He told me I was healthy and he sent me home. I'm pretty sure Nate and I ended up going back to the doctors. I had plucked up a little more courage. I let them know, hey, I really am sick. You should run some tests and stuff. So they agreed to run some tests. I wish I had known things then that I know now. I wish I had looked into what tests they were running, what they were looking for. I wish I had known what questions to ask. I was anxious and fearful, and then I got a call from my doctor's office. The lady on the other end of the line was just calling to let me know that all of my test results came back okay. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work? All my results came back fine. I'm healthy? Then why do I feel like I'm dying? I knew for sure that something was wrong. Something was wrong with me, and something was wrong with my doctor's office. I decided not to go back there the day that they gave me a prescription for seasickness pills to help with my dizziness. I knew that wasn't what was going to help me. I didn't know what was, but I knew I couldn't go back there again. I felt really hopeless. I felt like there was no way for me to get better, and I was stuck being sick forever. Of course, that's not true, and that's not what happened. Stick around for the next video in my health journey series, where I'll be talking about a few of the people who helped kickstart my health journey and who changed the way that I think about my body, my health, and my life. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Later, haters.